For over 130 years, McCormick has helped you make mom's lasagna to keep her secret recipe alive. Take over taco night, no matter how chaotic your day is. Conquer the bake sale, even if you get to it last minute. And craft the perfect Sunday brunch when it's not even Sunday. Because with McCormick by your side, it's gonna be great.
You're listening to a Mint podcast brought to you by HT Smartcast.
Good morning, listeners. Welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint, your weekday newscast that brings you 5 major stories from the world of business. It's Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. My name is Nelson John. Let's get started.
Top of the Morning by Mint.
Indian equity markets remained largely flat on Wednesday. Both Sensex and Nifty fell marginally around 0.1% each. Director Anurag Kashyap's gang of Wasseypur became a cult classic because of its realistic depiction of the 1980s gang wars in eastern India's coal belt. However, reality is stranger than fiction, an adage that journalists strive to prove. We invite Romita Datta, a West Bengal journalist, to write about Sheikh Shahjahan, a revolver-toting goon who came to rule over the village of Sandeshkhali. As his power and popularity grew, Shahjahan aligned himself with various political forces in West Bengal, including the left, CPIM, and the Trinamool Congress. But before becoming an elected official, Shahjahan got caught up in allegations of extortion, land grabbing, sexual abuse, and money laundering. He was finally arrested in February. Romita's exhilarating story of this powerful shrimp farming thug captures his rise to prominence and how he ended up behind bars. The pandemic, social distancing, inflation, and unseasonal rains all got in the way of Alcobev industry's success over the last few years. But an unusual Indian summer seems to be just what is needed for a revival of its spirits. In this weather, a cold beer can turn around a hot, sweaty day. Beer makers hope so too. They are gearing up for increased sales in 2024. Last year, sales dropped 10% as unseasonal rains dented demand. However, officials from these companies expect some uncertainty stemming from election dates. A long election cycle will result in sporadic dry days, lowering sales, writes Mint's lifestyle and hospitality correspondent Varuni Khosla in this seasonal industry forecast. The devil works hard, but political parties in India work harder. After the Supreme Court struck down electoral bonds as unconstitutional, the Ministry of Finance is now working towards a new scheme for campaign financing or the funding of political parties. Mint's economy reporter Girish Chandra Prasad reports that the new scheme will directly address the apex court's concerns around transparency and extent of financing. This scheme, however, is only likely to come into place once the general elections are over, Girish adds. For years now, electric two-wheelers have enjoyed generous subsidies by central government. The government recently introduced another subsidy, but this is capped at 10,000 rupees per vehicle. Mint's national editor and auto expert Sumant Banerjee writes that this move will hike prices by anywhere between 5 to 10,000 rupees per scooter, an increase about 7 to 10% for automakers. The industry, for its part, hasn't passed on this hike to the customers yet. With electric scooters already more expensive than their petrol counterparts, any further increase in prices may put potential customers off, writes Sumant Banerjee. Last week, some Axis Bank customers got a huge shock when they received messages of money being randomly deducted from their account. To make matters worse, the money was deducted in a foreign currency. A series of international fraudulent transactions hit dozens of Axis Bank customers across India. Some others received OTPs to carry out the same transaction. Axis reversed these transactions in a few days, but the damage was done. Mint Money Shipra Singh spoke to some victims of this scam. Some of these customers had already blocked their cards and requested a new one, only to find these fraudulent transactions taking place in the new card as well. Axis hasn't provided an explanation to its customers as to why this happened. Shipra also provides a helpful list of actions one should take if they are affected by this scam or know someone who is. We'd love to hear your feedback on this podcast. Let us know by writing to us at feedback@lifemint.com. You may send us your feedback, tips, or anything that you feel we should be covering from your vantage point in the world of business and finance. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with a fresh episode of Top of the Morning. Have a nice day.
Top of the Morning by Mint.
For over 130 years, McCormick has helped you make mom's lasagna to keep her secret recipe alive. Take over taco night, no matter how chaotic your day is. Conquer the bake sale, even if you get to it last minute. And craft the perfect Sunday brunch when it's not even Sunday. Because with McCormick by your side, it's gonna be great.